All right, everybody. Happy Saturday and welcome to our team conference call. As you guys know, we do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's only for an hour. So make sure you have your notebooks ready or your devices ready, whatever you take your notes on, guys, because every week we talk about something different and we have a different speaker. So we highlight the things that you need to know so that you can have success week to week, guys. So this is very important. Not only that you plug in, but if you're looking to build a business, right? If you came here to build a business, you don't have to, but you get to. And the fastest way to build is by rallying a bunch of people to the next big event. And the next big event is always the next meeting. All right. So, guys, make sure you're prepared. You do not want to miss today. I'm telling you, you have an amazing speaker. But before we jump into it, guys, as you know, we always go over the top 10, right? And so for this past week, right, we're in February, week 2 of the total families that have been helped. All right. So coming in at number 10, we have William C., 8 families. Number 9, Austin S., 8 families. Amaka, 9 families. Rakita G., 10 families. Joshua K., 12 families. Great job. All right, coming in number 5, Thaddeus S., 12 families. Number 4, great job to this guy. He is not slowing down. Previs, 13 families. Kelly, still in the top 10, 13 families. I myself, 15 families, and there can only be one. Number 1, Ryan Urbanski, 16 families. So, guys, again, you too can be in on the leaderboard, period, right? Do one more than you did yesterday. Do one more that you did last week. You got to get in the fight with us, guys. But you too can be on this leaderboard. We just all simply have to go to work. All right. So as you guys know, before I pass it back over to Kali, I'm just going to go over some quick announcements that you guys need to be aware of. Number 1, guys, there's a conference coming up. There's a huge event, right? So if you did not go to convention, all right, or if you just got started, or if you're not plugged in, you need to be at this next big event. It is not an option. It is very detrimental and important to your success here at Family First Life. So you want to make sure that you're at the next big event. Please put this on your calendar. It's going to be May 14th, 2022. All right. We don't have a link yet, but as soon as we get that link out, you want to make sure you register ASAP and get your team to register because it will be sold out quickly. All right, the ones that we had in the past were just growing like crazy. We're getting huge, and we want to make sure that everybody can attend May 14th. That's 2022. Check the chat if you missed the date. All right, guys. The next thing I want to highlight is I know we talk about this every week, but I can never get enough of talking about it because it's so important to our business. Please make sure you download WorkSpots. If you are a licensed agent, all right, download WorkSpots. This is very important, guys. The reason why WorkSpots is so important is because number 1, you can find out nationwide, not only for you, but also your team, what offices are in your area that you can plug into so that you can be in an environment for success. There's also free leadership training, sales training. You get to be in an environment with top producers and ask questions to get the help that you need. You can print your leads. You also have an office space to work out of. But most importantly, the reason why WorkSpots is so great is because you get discounts on leads. So guys, our leads are not only exclusive, they're already affordable, but with that added WorkSpot discounts, guys, it makes a huge difference. You could save a ton of money per month, all right? And they have discounts coming out left and right. So make sure you download it. It's $99 a month, right? That is the cheapest I've ever seen, all right, for you to be able to run a business, an office, have access to leaders for free, and also to get discounts on leads. I've never seen anything like it. It's made such a huge change to my business and so many others. Please make sure you screenshot this flyer here so that you can participate in the discounts and all the benefits that WorkSpots has to offer. Okay, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is our, first of all, to have success, guys, there is a system that we have in place for you. It's nothing else but this, guys. Look at the flyer that we have prepared here for you. We understand that we have some people who are spare time, we have some people that are part time, and we have people that are full time. Guys, you have to be the best that you can be based on where you are. So, guess what? We have everything that you need Monday through Saturday, sorry, Monday through Sunday, with meetings, with podcasts, with trainings, with live dials. We have the recipe that you need to have success here. And the only way to do that is by following this schedule, this training schedule that we have in place for you so that you can have success. We understand people have busy lives. So guess what? We've taken all the excuses away for you. And here you can follow this schedule. So anytime you have a break in the day, right, or you get on, if you're at work and you can listen in, or when you get off work, we have things for you to plug into to have success. So there's no excuse. Screenshot this, right? In order for you to have success, you have to be plugged in. And part of being plugged in is what we have going on our daily training schedule. All right, so make sure you're plugged in. All right, guys. Another announcement I want to make for you. Is the importance of having your camera on, all right, for our trainings, guys. One of the biggest ways, before you can do anything in this business, is you have to have some type of accountability to yourself. And one of the ways that you can start with being accountable to yourself is having your camera on. We realize that when your camera is not on, some people are not even in front of the camera. Some people aren't even dressed and prepared to have success for the day. So one of the biggest ways you can hold yourself accountable, and the way that we're going to hold you accountable, because you see, we want to make sure we're with the right players and we're with the right people, and that we're investing in the right people as well. And so one of the ways that we can see that, but most importantly, one of the ways you can hold yourself accountable, guys, is having your camera on so that you are ready and prepared to have success. So moving forward, right, we're going to give it some leeway today, but next Saturday, we're going to have a moderator who's moderating the call so that if your camera is not on, we love you, but you can't just hang around here. This is not a hang around business. We want people to make money. We want people to succeed. And guess what? You can, but it starts with the little things. And that is having your camera on first before you can do anything else. So those are the announcements for today. All right, guys, you must follow those announcements if you want to have success. I'm going to pass it back over to our very own EVP. I absolutely love her. This is my super friend, but also an amazing business partner. I follow everything that she says to a T, because I believe if you want what someone has, guys, you have to do what they do and then some. So, Kali, I absolutely love you. Thank you for your leadership. Please take it away.
Corinne, real quick, you because Chris is running a little bit late. He's closing a annuity. So I know you said you were going to talk really quickly about looking at the products and researching products. Can you talk about that?
Yes, guys. So what I noticed is that just coming in this business. Hey, Chris, I'm gonna bring you on. We'll bring you on in just a sec. What I noticed, guys, in this business, that first of all, a lot of people have fear in different areas of this business, right? You have a lot of fear of what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. What I can tell you is that everything that you want, guys, is on the other side of fear. And you constantly have to you constantly have to have fear to force you to move, to be able to figure out what it is in this business you need to work on so you can have success. And what I've noticed is that a lot of new people coming on, you may have sold insurance before or have not sold insurance before. I know it's a ton of companies, it's a ton of products, and it can seem like it's overwhelming, right? I too had that same feeling. But what I found out is that there's a huge cure to that fear, right? And what I've been helping new leaders do, the reason why so many new people are closing business is for this simple reason, guys. So please take note of this. I know it can be overwhelming. I know it can seem like a lot. And then when you get someone on the phone, you don't know which direction to go in. So the best and the fastest way to learn how these companies and products work is either go to the actual website and download the brochure, or you can simply just go to Google. Let's say, for example, you don't understand how Americo CBO works, right? Go to Google, type in Americo CBO brochure, and guess what? Everything you need on how that product works is there for you, not only to explain it to the client, but to also email them the brochure so they know exactly what they purchased from you. And that's with each and every different product that any one of these companies has to offer. So if you want to learn how the products work, if you're like a product person, you want to know how it works before you get started, guess what? Go to Google, go to the website, download the brochure, type in, everything is there for you. And guess what? You can even YouTube it as well. There are different products that the companies put on YouTube, and they explain exactly how it works. So that is the fastest way to learn. And Khalid, I'm going to pass it back over to you.
I was hoping it would take a little bit longer because I don't think Chris is ready. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Kelly, I'm always ready, love. I'm always ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. So I want to introduce you real quickly. So y'all, I'm telling you, get your notepads out and get ready to listen. If you guys don't know, Chris, and I hope I'm not butchering your last name, Chris Cazares.
Oh, perfect. Pronounce the S like a Z, and it's easy.
Chris Cazares, two-time Hall of Fame, but not just two-time Hall of Famer, two-time Hall of Fame, both years doing over 800,000 in personal production. He's been with FFL for less than 3 years, was in the car business for 13 years before he came to FFL, and is absolutely crushing it. He's a married dad with 3 kids. So ladies, he's not available. But he's an absolute beast in FFL, and he is the vice president of FFL Asset Protection. Chris Cazares, take it away. Tell us a little bit about your journey here with FFL. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit and talk to FFL Fury and High Voltage. It means a lot. I know you're super busy. You just closed on a 420,000 annuity. Is that correct?
Yeah. I had to wrap up some paperwork. And that was, she loved to talk.
Chris, you breaking up.
But yeah, trying to find a parking lot here. You know how this goes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she had quite a bit of assets spread out, but too much of it exposed to loss. Yeah, so I just walked her down the path. She's 78 years old, and her refinance mortgage balance is 228,000. So if you've ran business for a while, you know how much, trying to insure 228,000 is for a 78-year-old. That's what we did. We asked the golden question. We found out about the assets that are in place. So we leveraged some of the assets. And right now, Athene has a 30% premium bonus on the Agility 10 product.
Yeah.
So she picks up $126,000. And based on the average growth, off the projections, she should be able to grow enough cash to cover the balance of the mortgage and offset it in about 6-7 years without having to pay for insurance. And that option doesn't cost her anything. Again, she picks up a free $126,000, so she's excited.
I'm sure. So Chris, tell us about, you've been with FFL, you said almost 3 years.
Yes.
What was it that attracted you to, because you did a career change. So what was it that initially attracted you to Family First Life?
So I came from the car business, and going in the car business, some of you, I think they say everybody who sells ends up in the sales field passes through a dealership at least one time, right? So beating the pavement, being a lot lizard, as they used to call it, sitting around like today. It looks beautiful outside here today, but the air is freezing cold. So I used to stand out and be all bundled up for 6, 7, 8, 10 hours and hope to have the opportunity and have a client pull up, and I may be, half jogging to that car trying to beat 10 other salespeople. So I knew that I just needed opportunity. So when I took a look at Family First Life and the fact that we had leads here, it just made a lot of sense to me. I just knew that I needed more opportunity. So yeah, and then looking at the uncapped potential on the commission side, and I know we kind of, due to new regulations in place, we can't get too deep into that, but I just saw uncapped potential. So, I mean, she talked about my issue paid number. We can talk about that because that's real. So like 867,000 is what I issue paid for 2021. Yeah, which came out 2021. So 2021.
You said, so say that again, Chris, because I'll 800 and what?
67,000 issue paid.
867,000 issue paid personally in 2021.
As you see, I'm still out in the field. I enjoy the field, enjoy serving clients still. Have an agency.
So that's averaging about 72,000 in personal production a month.
Well, here's the thing about last year, Callie, is that I buried 4 family members last year, and it was like every 3 or 4 weeks, 3, 4, or 5 weeks. I didn't really start running business till June. So the math.
So then you're talking about double that amount. Then. So you did 800,000 last year in 6 months, is what you're telling me?
About six and a half, yeah.
Okay.
So the opportunity that we have here is incredible.
What's the secret sauce, Chris?
Proper communication with the clients. But I want some of you guys to hear this, because some of you who are getting started and kind of questioning about taking the leap of faith into here. And it's not all about the money, because the only reason I make so much money, right, doing this is the only way we get paid is we help families, right? So the only reason I make so much money, I figured out how to help more families in a larger way, right? But I want some of you to hear this who are kind of question that 1 foot in mentality right now. I left the car business. I was doing about 200 grand a year. Both feet, right over into FFL.
So you left a $200,000 job to take a leap of faith into FFL, basically.
Mm-hmm. Did 277 my first 8 months trying to figure this out. And if you've listened to any other trainings, I had a lot of chargebacks trying to figure this bad boy out. So I gave a lot of that 277 back. And then once it clicked for me that it's not about me, it's about the client, and I really honed in on becoming the professional and knowing this craft. First year was 841, and then last year 867, right? So in half the time. So it's just refining those skills.
What did you do? Because here, Chris, a lot of people, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but I'm excited about you. What did you do? What did you do? Like, because a lot of people want to wait until they got this figured out, and they want to wait to learn all the products, or they want to wait till all these things happen before they get started. Like, what did you do to master your craft? Because you didn't wait to see, like, you mastered your craft while you were trial and error, basically. It sounds what it sounds like to me, right?
Yeah. So let me see if I can do a little bit of that, a little more shade so you can see me. Okay. So and I was smiling and kind of laughing, not at the people who are hesitating. I was thinking about my own story, because I was just talking to one of my business partners in this ordeal yesterday evening. And I don't know if you guys wear the mask. I got a little fuzzy as we keep seeing. I can't get it off my nose. So anyways, So we dig deep enough. I was a knucklehead when I was younger. So when I got into this, like 17 years before I got in a little trouble, right? A little misdemeanor, something small, real petty. So the state took 2.5 months to get all my stuff through. When I was fired up, I looked at the 7-minute video that somebody in the company sent me, looked at the leaderboards. I was fired up, got the exam voucher, studied for 4 days, all day, had the exam passed by day 5, and then boom, I had to wait 2.5 months. So
right.
what I did during those 2.5 months is I studied. I just got lost in this industry. At that time, FFL had 523 training videos out that I could find. And I'd watched them all, and some of them a lot more than once. because I found word tracks or techniques that I like. So it was just on repeat. YouTube University, just about the products, the carriers, the industry, because it was a different sales process. Google and YouTube University teach you a lot. So that was 8, 10, 12 hours a day of little earpiece like this. I talk about in other trains, I mean, all day, because I saw what this could be. And I was laughing because once the state approved it and I put my carrier stuff in, I didn't want to wait any longer. I had Americo, AIG, and Transamerica. I'm sorry. I had Mutual of Omaha, AIG, and Transamerica paper apps for the first 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I went out and wrote over 20 grand.
So no excuses. It wasn't, you really took all excuses away.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't do.
Look,
you can either have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both.
Come say that again.
You can either have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both.
Come on.
I had a mentor say that to me about 8, 9 years ago, and I have never forgot it.
That's facts. And so what would you say? Because you said, okay, so you said you had 2 months or so to research, right? Because it was a wait on you getting appointed. What would you tell somebody brand new? Because they're not going to have 2.5 months, or no, you don't want to recommend 2.5 months to sit and train.
No, of course not. There's we got the boot camps out there. But here's the simplicity of what we do. You have mentors that you can call in the home. So the product knowledge you don't have to have. I think like Grady's got a video out there. Definitely find it, Callie. It's dated right now. Okay. But it was a rundown of our primary products. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's on YouTube somewhere. I think it's like just typing Grady and like product training. It's just him and a whiteboard and like the stand-up banner guys and stuff next to him. I think red wall behind the whiteboard. But so like an hour and 22 minutes long, I think. That's all the product training you need right there. Okay. Your underwriting guides and your mentor. Other than that, the way I run my appointments, if you've seen any of the trainings I've done, I'm just having a conversation with these people. I'm running through a full financial inventory with them because I need to doctor patient, right? We need to know everything that's going on. But I just have a conversation. I don't look at this as sales. If you're at convention, I mentioned it on stage. We're in the business, we're in the communication business. They filled it out. They know they need help. Took the call from a stranger, let the stranger come in the house, and now they're giving the stranger all their personal details.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
They just want to know that they can trust you and that you care. That's it.
So what do you do to build trust at the beginning of because a lot of people think that the close is at the end. The close happens at the beginning.
Correct.
So What is it that you do to get to build the trust? Like, what do you say? What do you do to build the trust up at the beginning so that people know, number one, that they're dealing with a professional and that somebody is not going to scam them?
Yeah. So for one, you see the way I go dressed in the home. So that's one thing for me. I have tattoos everywhere, right? But it kind of like, this is my uniform. So I know it's time to work, right? Mentally, how my own brain processes it. Once this button goes, I don't have a tie today, but once this button goes on, blazer goes on, I know it's time to go to work. Like everything about my thoughts change. And then with the client, this the way I set the table. I'll run through it real quick. So here, I have my bag here. So let me show you what I got.
Perfect.
So the lead comes out on the table first for one, but real quick, I have credibility sheet, which tells you how long I've been in the field. The corners are peeling and things, all kinds of beat, right? So credibility sheet, license laminated right behind that, and then pictures of my family. Okay. So I pulled the lead out of my bag first because I want to know that I'm sitting with somebody who's serious. So I was pull the lead out, and the first question I asked is that, now, Callie, when you first filled out this form, what was your main concern? Who were you looking to protect? And I just kind of let him go.
My son, I don't want him to have a burden.
Perfect. So
my mom died. We can role play it, Chris.
Oh, if you want to. Okay. I run mortgage protection. I can do either.
My mom died with, Yeah, so let's just do it. Let's role play it.
Okay.
My mom died when I was 19, and I don't want to leave that. My son is 20, and so I don't want to leave the same burden on my son that my mom left on me and my brothers and my sisters.
Got it. Understood. So now, does your son live with you?
He does, but he's in college full time, so kind of, you know.
Gotcha. So now, important question, because that'll kind of give me some direction here, Callie, is, and I say it that way to the client, right? We're still in, I'm still in character mode, just so you know. So
okay, and I'm in character too.
Yep. Important question, Callie. Now, is it your wishes to pass him the paid off house, or do you think you want to keep this house, or do you want to set him up to just have cash out the equity here and then have options?
No, I definitely want him to be able to keep this house. I worked really hard for this house, so I want to be able to keep it.
Absolutely. Perfect. So Callie, I broker for 15, 17 different carriers who provide this kind of coverage, take care of mortgage protection, as well as all forms of your traditional life insurance, which these two are different. And I'll get into the differences here with you in a sec. And then retirement income planning and asset preservation is really what I specialize in. And then this is my license to do what I do with the state. Slide over. You're welcome to take a picture of this if you'd like. And also, if you'd like, we can hop on the state's website real quick, plug my info in so you can see I'm active, all the carriers I'm contracted with, all my updated, continued education that I have to do every year to make sure the license stays active. So you let me know if you'd like to. And then I'm like, oh, no, don't worry about that. Perfect. Yeah. And then I go, and this is my bunch. And I literally put this in their hand. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes. So even if they were like this, they have to reach out. Like I make them physically undo their, right. I'm like, here, like I make them take it. So yeah, this is my bunch. Been with the wife since we were 14 years old and born and raised here in my area. I run business in my area. I don't do travel trips. If I couldn't get leads, I would. But
what area you in, Chris?
Virginia Beach, Virginia, Hampton Roads. They call it 7 cities here. So within about an hour radius around, there's 7 cities I can hit.
Okay, so you're close. You're not too far from us. We're in Maryland.
Most of us are because I drove up to see her. Yeah, that's right. This is how precious life is. When I came up briefly, I've been up there twice, but the last one, not the last one because I traveled with Sean, then the one before that. Got up there halfway through the conference. My grandfather has a heart attack and I have to drive back to Virginia. That's how precious life is. So he's still here, which is I'm thankful.
Okay, good.
But so kind of continue with this ordeal. So after I do the family thing and they obviously relax, I go back to this one and say, now, Callie, with these carriers, the plans are non-medical. They do not require any kind of nurses, needles, peeing in a cup. So I'm going to run through, and then I have the financial inventory out, and I'm pointing there. I'm going to run through some basic medical questions with you, and that'll let me determine which carrier and which product that you have the highest chance of qualifying for. Then I'm going to go over the features of that product and how it applies to what you're looking to accomplish here and the features it may or may not have. Once I do that, you're going to select the level of coverage that makes sense for you and your budget, right? What you want to prioritize. Then we're going to fill out an application with the carrier to actually get you approved. Because without the carrier's approval, what we do here, it doesn't mean anything. So as long as you're okay with that process, then I'll proceed.
Okay, and then you're just going, this is where the close is happening. You're closing me at the beginning. So I'm like, yes, okay.
Perfect.
So now, Chris.
Now, real quick, say yes to that.
Yes. Right? Okay, perfect.
Perfect. So Callie, and I kind of look around, I'm like, you see, I have no laptops in my bag. I have no PowerPoints or flip charts or any kind of sales tactics. It's just, it makes it weird for me, right? So you don't want to do that way, right? I'm sure.
No.
I always say, of course not. Exactly. So look, I do this like 40, 50 times a week. And I was running that many appointments, by the way. when I had to cram.
But that's why you're doing
6 months in.
800,000. I mean,
So,
yeah.
but no, so I do this 40 or 50 times a week. And if I was stressed out and like battling in every home, Callie, I'd probably have a heart attack, die an early death. And I'm not, I don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, we're just going to have a conversation, right? I'm going to get all the important stuff from you, and help you pick and design a program that protects your family the way you want it to. Okay. We're just going to talk.
Okay. I like that.
And the rest of it's like sometimes you can visibly see them go, right.
So it's like not a sale. You're not about to sell me. You're helping me. Like it feels more like you're helping, you're not trying to sell me on something.
And naturally for me too, when I deliver that, we're just going to have a conversation line. I just thought about it now, like naturally, I just literally kind of sit back in the chair. If we happen to be sitting in the living room, I literally sit back, kick my leg up, put my portfolio on my leg, start writing. Like I relax because I want them to mirror that.
Got you.
Because I want to be relaxed. I want to enjoy what we do. Right. So.
Do you get a lot of objections at the end? Like,
no.
Well, okay, it's time to get my banking information. Do you get an objection when it's time to get my banking information?
No, and here's what kind of eliminated that for me. I never really, in the car business, I had to get all kinds of personal info. So I've had years of experience with extracting personal info from individuals when they're kind of hesitant, right? But what changed it here, because it's a completely different sales process, is when I open up the application, I turn and they're looking at the screen with me. So when I ask for the banking information, they've already seen it on the screen. They know I'm going to ask them. So then it's not weird.
Got you. Okay.
But if you treat it like the car business, when you go into the office with the finance guy and his screen's in between you and him like this, and all you hear is a bunch of typing, you have no idea what's going on the other end. So from the very start of the application, they're with me. They're part of the process.
Got you. Okay.
So like they see social, they see bank account, they see so it's not weird when I have to ask it. And I just go, okay, social. All right, now routing number. Now but also too, before I do the app, I'm just super assumptive. So as I'm like opening the laptop, opening the website for whatever carrier we're going with, I go, hey, Callie, do you do all your banking online or do you still use a checkbook? And I ask it just like that every time.
Okay. I like that. I go banking online. I don't have no checks.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Here in a minute, got to answer some other stuff before, but I'll need you to pull up your account and round number. And then I just start typing in the name, the date, so again, when I have to ask for it, if they go, well, what do you need my banking info for? Well, with all the major carriers, they do electronic funds transfer. And the reason why they do that, Callie, is because if you had to personally pay it yourself and you got sick or hurt, wound up in the hospital, maybe ICU, and couldn't make the payment, and that lapsed at the most important time, right? Because you literally physically couldn't make that payment.
Right.
And you'd be paying for something your family would get absolutely nothing. So that happened enough time for the carrier to make sure they just do electronic funds transfer, which is why, like we discussed, because I won't open my laptop until we pick the premium, and also that I've tried to take it away from them a few times. So, I talk about the electronic funds transfer. If I have to go down this route, I'll just wrap it up by saying that's why, you selected that number because you said it was long-term affordable. Right. Again, so just like your cable and a bunch of your other bills, it's just right. But this will be the most important one.
I like it. So, Chris, one of the things I want to kind of segue into this is so one of the things that you've been worked on is an insurance university, right? And so what you told me about that is that, well, let me first see if does anybody have any questions for Chris so far?
Yeah. Hi, Colin. I do. This is Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Thank you for coming on, Chris. It really helped. I'm taking a lot of notes. My question to you is can you show an example on how you take it away from somebody?
Hold on a second. I just looked in the chat. Artemis. So got mortgage protection from him before I came to FFL. Oh, well, I have a previous client up here. I just looked at that. Look, this is why I need to be recruiting at the table. I do all the time, but I don't know how I missed y'all to miss, but all good. You're still in the family. Nonetheless. All right. So you said how I take it away from them, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm a 3 options guy. And like for mortgage protection, depending on the situation, every situation is different, but let's just say Callie, because she's young and healthy, right? So I'm showing full 75% and 50% of the mortgage. And after I do that, when I slide the paper over, so after I set the table, and the second we go through income and I see what's going to be lost, also we've already picked a premium range right after I set the table. So like the deal was closed with a budget range number like 15 minutes ago. And now I'm just getting all this, the additional information I need and product stuff and all that. So by the time that comes out, slide the paper over, I go, all right, now Callie, I know we talked about, you know, $150 a month. And what I tell them in that the setup of the structure of finding the budget early is, so like I said, I'm going to show you what you said you're willing to prioritize. I'm going to show you a little more and a little less. So you tell me what makes the most sense in your budget, again, for the long term. So when they say whatever that number is, normally we're supposed to be at a kitchen table. So let's just say, you know, easy math, 200,000 in coverage, $200. Callie earlier in the appointment said, you know, she can prioritize 150, so 150,000, 100. So she said, yeah, I want to, you know, let me just stay on the 150 we talked about. I said, all right, Callie. So yeah, we're supposed to be sitting at the kitchen table. So if that refrigerator over there breaks down, and tomorrow when you're going to work, on top of that, you catch not 1 but 2 flat tires, could you still afford that 150?
Yes.
Perfect. Because what I don't want to do, Callie, is you know, based on those life events, because they're going to happen, but canceling this coverage for your family, I don't want you to make a permanent decision because of a couple temporary setbacks. And what I don't want to see, Callie, is in 30, 60, 90 days, I get an email from the carrier that you cancel this coverage, because I know it's not because you don't want to protect your son. It's because I let you sign up for too much insurance today.
Mm.
So
Okay,
for me to start at the 100 and get used, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe we can look at 100. Can we look at something that's like $100 a month?
Yeah, so let's move down to the 100,000 worth of coverage. And then what we'll do is this, let's get you used to that in your budget. And then we can revisit it in 6 months, 12 months. If you want to add on, we can always do that as long as your ability to qualify hasn't changed, meaning your health.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Meaning as long as you don't have a health event or a prescription that will disqualify you from adding on more coverage.
Oh, okay.
And that's what they do right there too. No, let's just do the 150. They do just like that.
Like if I get, you mean like if I get COVID or something? Would that?
With certain carriers, absolutely, yes.
Okay, well, I mean, this is important to me, Chris. So let's just go ahead and let's do the 150. I mean, that's the coverage that I really need. And I have to, if something comes up, I just have to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. So that's normally how it goes. So that's why I'm kind of backtracking in this training talk here, is that's normally how it goes. So by the time like all this is done before I even pull my laptop out of the bag. So when we're in the application, it's not weird when I'm asking for social and banking information, because they place so much value on it and they pick their own number. And they know they got to pay for it. You know, it's like, we're adults. So don't, yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me.
Reno is not free. Like it's not, it's not free.
Yeah, say, listen, if a client tells you that at the very beginning of the appointment, I'd be like, Callie, come on now. You know nobody's paying your house off for free.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
like that.
but it says
You know, no one's
here.
burying you for free. Whatever. I just literally look in the face, go, Callie, come on. Just
Like,
like this,
yeah,
head,
like,
tilt, and everything. Like you're
yeah.
kidding me, right? Because they have to. I make them repeat it or try to extend it so they know how, for lack of a better word, how dumb it sounds at the moment. Because they're
Yeah,
like Mark Mead said, they're just testing you. That's all they're doing. They need to know that you'll fight for them. Now you got to earn the trust, but at least they like you a bit just by your demeanor and your vibes. But they're just
right.
testing you when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. This is so good, Chris. What other questions, guys, do you have? Because we don't have.
I'm sorry. Did that answer that question enough? I know I went through some layers.
No, I think so. Dwayne, did he answer your question?
Yeah, he did. Thank you.
Okay, Josh.
All right, so Chris,
Okay,
first,
Josh is first.
all right, Chris, first and foremost, man, thanks for taking the time out, and sharing the dimes with us, man. So I have two questions for you. The first is, did you see a difference as far as your closing ratio when you started using the pictures of your family? And secondly, what are you doing? Do you feel like there's something in particular that you're doing to make your appointments show at a higher rate? You know what I mean? Like, as far as like,
I'm being myself 1000% and being super comfortable. I'm okay with them saying no if I know I left it all on the table.
Okay.
Like that's what I used to get upset about no's. I used to get upset about reschedules, cancellations, porches. Because of my relationship with God, whoever I end up writing a policy for, that's who he meant me to. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way I look at that. And then the pictures of the family, that's just, I bragged about my family forever. Even when I was in the car business, I had a bunch of pictures around in my office. Like I want them to know that I'm a real person. Like and I tell them, I say, I know you see me dressed up looking nice. I just like to be the best representation of myself and my business that I can be. But look, when I'm done with my day, I'm going to be in dad gear, okay, and some slides. And they start laughing. I'm like, this is my uniform, right? But I show them the pictures because saying, hey, I'm not the sales guy. And I do that sometimes just to make them smile. I'm like, I'm not the sales guy, okay? I'm just a regular guy. Got a family sitting, waiting at home. You know, I don't know. It might be a beer at the end of the day. I don't know. And they'll just start laughing. I'm like, I'm going to do what you're doing right now, you know? So yeah, just be real all the time. Be yourself all the time. You'll get more out of life.
what do you? I'm sorry.
Somebody else had a question?
Yes, I did. Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Again, first and foremost, too, thank you for jumping on today and helping our teams out. Let me ask you a question. What does your lead choice consist of? And I know that you do a lot of big annuities. What is your conversation starter when you're doing an appointment and you are, pivot towards the annuity side to get that commitment? What do you say?
Question one, say that one again.
What does your lead choice consist of?
There you go. Yep, leads. So I wasn't allowed to talk about this for a long time. So in 2020, I really got heavy into mortgage and refined the process of how I do things in the home, became more professional, became better at my communication skills. So with what we do. So in 2020, I had 2 mortgage lead vendors that I'd get 15 to 25 leads a week if I was lucky. So I was running 12 to 15 appointments a week during 2020 when I did the 841. So being that my leads were limited by choice, I really learned how to fully exhaust a lead, right? Calls, texts, door knocks. I mean, I might get 15 leads in. I'm gonna book 10 to 12 of those, one way or another. And I had a rule. They either had to tell me no at the door or no at the table, but it had to be to my face. Now with the wealth of leads that we have, this is by no means saying care less, but just understand, and some people, get upset when we say a lead is a lead, but it is, because it's just a family on the other side of that thing. I've gone into final expense of written mortgage protection. I go into mortgage protection all the time and write whole life. I've written annuities for mortgage protection, and instant internet leads, final expense. Like, it's just a family. You go and diagnose the situation, and we have a massive product portfolio that, if you're a true professional, you know what products you have in depth. And again, you just refine this craft. I'm just always sitting there. I shut everything out in the world, and I'm listening with both ears, and my eyes are locked on them the entire time to read body language, facial expression, see when they get emotional, see when they're getting defensive. And I'll point it out to them. I had a gentleman the other night, ended up, because the wife was healthier, writing a $7,400 smart UL, 7,400 AP. His legs started going under the table, and I was kind of going in deep and painting pictures and overcoming the excuses about budget and whatnot. And I was like, hey, I can hear it, because he had slides on too, so you can hear it like hitting his foot on top of the right inside the leg shaking. I said, oh man, I see the leg going. You okay? I irritate you a little bit, right? And he was like, well, man. And I'm like, I'm real quick, just if I've said anything that's incorrect or untrue, please. He's like, no, I'm not saying that, man. I mean, no, you know what? You're right. But I like point these things out, because we're having a real conversation. So when somebody you love is having a conversation, you can tell something's bothering them. You want to dig it out of them. What's wrong? Right? So I do that stuff with the clients, because my clients are the reason I can take care of my family. Why would I not try to find a way to love them all the same? So with the lead mix, that's what I'm saying. Everything's kind of changed for me in the home. The focus, again, dug deeper in the products, how they function, how they work, all that good stuff, of just doing a better job in the home. So now, that's where you see some of these weeks where, I've done 40, 50, 60, $100,000 in a week, when I took my 12 to 15 appointments and turned it into 36 to 45 appointments a week. I just scaled my stuff. That's all that was. And then as far as the annuities, just again, Sean Ruggiero and HMS. That's a good product too. AMS, AMS team study, and they've been putting out some gold, and they've gotten a lot of high producing annuity agents. They're doing like this training course now through the AMS team. Is great. But just know your products and know how they function. And I got to the point where I could position an annuity in the way it would protect their family or their retirement, the same way I could explain how life insurance would protect their family, because I knew the product that in depth. And that's what I just did with the lady I just left. So just on the conversation, that's some golden question, do you have anything else that would help offset the mortgage? Like any 401ks, IRAs, TSPs, that would be transferable to XYZ person, whoever it is. Just asking the golden question. But if you know how the products function, you can kind of start piecing it together like you do when you say, hey, well, if you go with 20 grand, we can apply whatever, 10,000 to the funeral. This 5,000 will help your daughter get from, Florida to Maryland, right? And take the time off of work that she needs to properly grieve, and then have a little bit left over for the grandkids. So I can break down an annuity money in several ways, and how it can do this and that and this and that and this and that, based on the projections. If it's here, here's where we can disperse this money, right? Or here's where your family can disperse. So just knowing the products and how they function. Log into your Athene portal or whatever. You can play around in the illustration tools. Go on YouTube. Any product that's out there, there's a YouTube video on it of somebody explaining how it works.
That's good. I think we got about 9 more minutes. Thank you, Ren. Thank you, Chris. Chris, I want you to real quickly, because we wrap up right at 12 noon. So we connected because you posted on Facebook about your insurance university. That's what it's called, right? Let me make sure I got it right.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with FFL, completely separate from Family First Life. But I think, obviously it's something that's been very needed in the insurance space, because you said that there's nothing that you've seen or that I've even seen that encompasses everything about insurance in one place. So do you want to talk really quickly, take a couple minutes, Chris, and talk about the insurance university, and if people are interested in learning more, what they can do to connect to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So who has a security for the Zoom here? Because I'll do a screen share real quick.
I do.
All right. So if you can open that up for me. But simply put, you guys, after about 3,000 booked appointments and over 2 million of issue paid premium. Cool. So over you could just change the security features. I'll have to pass the host back to you. But over 2 million of production between life insurance, IULs, and annuities, and 3,000 plus appointments in a few years. Basically what I did is I took everything that I know and put it into a training course. So the way I designed the course was every question I've ever been asked by an agent, but really it's just to take the average agent who knows absolutely nothing and teach every finite little aspect to what we do in this industry, so that you can communicate at my level. Because I'm literally giving exactly the thing, everything I say, do, how I put it on paper for the clients, everything. So let me see here. There we go, screen. Different on the phone. So can you guys see my screen? My pretty wife.
Your wife is beautiful. Ooh.
There we go. So so welcome, intro, whatnot, but just to kind of give you guys a quick run through mindset. So in that hour long, I talk about the 4 scriptures that have completely changed my life and my business. And like I talked about, how I take the notes and all at the table, and just really you can apply it to your entire life. Everything starts with mindset. Part-time schedules looks like full-time schedule I run, and how you can actually calculate your income every month. If you know your numbers, you can literally calculate how much you want to make every month. Okay. Talk through a little bit in depth on all the different lead types, the phones, my personal scripts. Like, we all start off with that foundational script, but we all say things differently. So my scripts that are tied in here, how I personally handle phone objections. It's taboo. I don't think it's as taboo as it was to talk about, but I have a scheduler. Frees up time, just delegation of tasks. I gave her all my talents after 40, 50,000 phone calls. I gave her everything I know, and then she became her own on the phone. And about an hour and a half of me going 10 straight on the phone with clients. Exactly what I do at the table from start to finish, and even after. A couple of my in-homes, quick one on stage, full presentation from 2020. That's the presentation that I did 841,000 with. And then all the different closing techniques. So basically there's over 30 different situations in here, and how to close those, as well as communicate with, visually and audibly with the client. But if you think about it, the breaking down income and budget close, those are the 2 closes that happen, again, right after setting the table. So the money's already out on the table. But I need to speak to my kids, budget's too tight, paying extra, and basically there's over 30 different closes up here. How to read policies, screen shared that, and actually walked you through real policies and how to read those. Term, UL policy is a little tricky, but I go low. That's why you see that one's a little longer. But this is how you can readily identify and explain to a client what they currently have, be able to recognize that they're in a bad situation. And then the next section is how to walk through the client, with the client, on how they need to fix it and how you're going to help them. So depend upon the type of insurance that they have, moving them into what they actually need to be in, right? And this annuity concept sales, this is just, again, how the planting the seed happens up front, and how how to gain that interest for either that second appointment or to write the app right there. Right. And then every training I've ever done since I started with FFL, I tossed in here too. There's hours and hours and hours of that. My Zoom template. So I got sick and couldn't go out in the field for a few weeks. So yeah, I created my own Zoom template. It's made to walk the client through from start to finish. After slide 4, I basically set the table with slide 4, but it says what we're going to do, and it says we're doing an application. Right? So if we go past like slide 4, where we're already done, we're doing business. And then the documents that I bring in the home. But as you can see, there's 76 modules in here. And yeah, what I wanted to do is, again, there's over a 90% failure rate in this industry, and it's simply due to lack of training. Because everybody's recruiting everybody, but nobody knows how to sell insurance, especially outside of FFL. Okay, especially outside of FFL, all they do is recruit. Okay,
Chris, people are asking in the chat, what is a phone number they need to text, right?
No.
No.
Send an email.
An email. Give it to me so I can put it in the chat for everybody.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. I can do it if you tell me. Oh, you did it already.
I just put it in there. Yep.
Okay.
chriskazffl@gmail.com. Got to switch that because my assistant for that business, I'm like, look, we got to keep this separate because it's not FFL, and she puts it in the email. So got to switch that. But nonetheless, yes, it's investing in yourself and your career. The good part about it is you can write it all off because it is education for your career. But I used one of those closes about an hour ago, and since we've talked about so much AP stuff up here, I mean, that $420,000 annuity pay me 30-something thousand. So the course essentially pays for itself over and over.
Not a bad morning.
No. And I have 6 more left for today. So
Chris,
I'm still running heavy in the field, training, running these trainings like this for my team as well, recruiting, have a staff. Here's one thing I'll give you before we part is, once you figure this out, right, you have to immerse yourself in the training, be a part of these Zooms and be active in these Zooms. I heard kind of while I was still sitting with the client, you're saying, make sure the camera's on, etc. So, yeah, outside of that, get yourself some staff, get yourself some real bills like Sean talks about. It'll make you move.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, Chris, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you, because your time is obviously very, very valuable. So thank you for taking an hour out of your day to pour into our team. Like, we're getting so much great feedback about you being on, Chris. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you as well.
I appreciate you guys. I like sharing because look, when people ask me what I do for a living, I say I help people for a living. All right. And slowly transitioning that into, that's what we do, is we change lives, right? So any day I know I've made some kind of impact on the world makes me feel good.
Yeah,
and I don't have to get paid to do it, so.
Well, you have definitely impacted about 50 plus people today. So thank you again for taking your time out, Chris. And if you need anything from me, please let me know. I'll definitely want to return the favor.
I didn't realize my phone was dying.
All right, Chris.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. We'll talk soon, okay?
Cool.
All right, y'all. Have a great week, everybody. We're jumping right back on the livesalesdials.com right now. So if you're dialing today, you want to learn how to do in-home appointments, that is where to go. Livesalesdials.com, y'all. Have an amazing week, y'all.
Bye, guys. Love you.